Love and light, friends. Just a quick video today. I'm going to just touch upon a really deep subject, which is depression, because there's so many people dealing with it. And why are you depressed? Why do people get depressed? And the very main reason why people get depressed is because they don't know who they are. And they may not consciously think to themselves, man, I'm depressed because I don't know who I am. That's just the thing about not knowing who you are, is that you don't know who you are. And so that part of you that wants to be you, that hidden part of you that doesn't want to have to be hidden, I'm going to go ahead and call it spirit. Your spirit does not want to be hidden down in the basement of yourself. Your spirit does not want to be thought of in terms of, when I die, then my spirit's going to activate, and then I'll be conscious of my spirit and know that I'm my spirit. You could be conscious of being a triune being, mind, body, spirit, right now. And I'm sure you're conscious of being a body, and I'm sure you're conscious of being a mind. But I don't think we know too much about being the spirit. And that is the missing link. That is the reason for depression. All depression is going to stem back to that, if you trace it all the way back. You might have 5 other reasons in front of that one. And those are legit in the sense that, you know, you can say you feel you're depressed because your relationships with certain people aren't going right, let's say. But why aren't your relationships with people going right? Well, because we don't know how to relate to each other. We don't know how to interact. Well, why don't we know how to relate to each other? Why don't we know how to interact? Well, because we can't seem to get on the same page with stuff. We can't seem to come to agreements on things. Now, why can't you get on the same page, and why can't you come to agreements? Because there's no format for it. There's no book about it. We've never been taught anything about it. So what we're really saying then is we're ignorant in that sense. We're ignorant of how to be a triune being. We only know how to be a mind-body complex. A complex mind-body complex. Overly complex. Because you've left out the third wheel. You've left out the spirit, which is your power. Spirit is energy. Spirit is the divine frequency, the prime frequency. If that third element is left out of the triune self, you're going to end up depressed. And you're going to have all these things that you're going to look at to try to figure out the puzzle of why you're depressed. And you may never get all the way back to the true source. The true source is that you have left spirit out. You're not connected with spirit, and you're not integrating your spirit. Your spirit needs to be 100% integrated into your mind-body complex, which takes time, which takes all these different modalities and everybody's got different ways that they go about it, but at the end of the day, it's got to be done. It needs to be done. And you're not going to overcome depression permanently until that's done. You might get over it temporarily, and really all that's going to be happening is you're going to be pushing that depression deep into the self to be dealt with at some future time. But that's not going to fix it. That's not going to heal it. That's not going to allow you to progress the way that you should be. So get on it. Get with it. Consider it. Take a deep, hard, meditative look at all three parts of your being. Your mind, your body, and your spirit. And ask yourself, are these three things balanced? Are these three things harmonious? Are these three things synchronized and working together like a finely tuned instrument? You could be depressed having to do with the body. Also, in addition to the spirit problem, because you're full of toxins and you don't feel right, and your energy isn't flowing right, and you don't know why. You maybe got addicted to certain substances, sugar, or whatever. It all plays a part. You might get depressed because of the mind portion of self. You might not be able to control your thoughts. Why can't you? Why is it that your mind tends to just take over the self and not allow you to get into a place of peace, a place of knowing, a place of calm, clear clarity? And the mind itself has to be balanced. You've got two hemispheres. And in this reality, we spend most of our time in one of those hemispheres, so we're not balanced in that sense. So all of this is going to lead to depression. All of this ties in with depression. So you must work on self. You must work on these three areas of self. And it's all about balance, synchronicity, and purity. And I might do a longer one in the future about this, because I think this seemingly is an epidemic in our collective reality. Way too many people stuck on and in depression and can't seem to get out. And so we need to help all of our fellow brothers and sisters to get out of it, and not just to bypass it or push it deeper within the self. It must be conquered. It must be healed. And it can be. It can be. But it takes going at it. It takes going after the root cause, the root of it. So love and light, my friends. Until next time.